Martha, we're back in the saddle.
We're back.
Where have we been?
We've been international, baby.
Ugh, that sounded horrible.
Yeah, what have you been up to the last week? Anything fun? Anything
Well,
interesting?
I've been with you in
Non-stop.
Barcelona. I can't remember most of it, but I know it involved alcohol, potentially psychedelic drugs, and a speaking gig.
Yeah.
What time to be alive?
Fantastic time to be alive. Such
Uh,
great people. I've always come back so inspired.
What, the Spanish? Who were nice.
The Spanish, not so much.
Oh, everyone we met was lovely.
Yeah, apart from that one guy when we took the chair. He was not happy about that.
Really?
Yeah.
But there's no one sat with him.
No. But I think it's because he was like, oh, if we say we've got a table for 2 people. And,
Oh, there in the restaurant.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, how awful that we wanted to give them more money.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about remarketing secrets. So kind of how to stay top of mind without becoming annoying. And it's sprung out of, we've obviously just been to a conference and someone in the room didn't know what remarketing was. And it was somebody I would expect to know what it was. So I was like, well, I'll make a good podcast episode.
Yeah. So what is remarketing?
Don't know. So it's like, the easiest way I describe it to people is when you're looking at a pair of trainers on a website and then you can't get away from that pair of trainers for a couple of weeks, or when you've been browsing various different things and then something very relevant to the things you've been browsing starts following you around the internet. I think I've said on the podcast before, one guy said to me, what's remarketing? And I said, I dare you to click on my website because I'll fucking haunt your dreams. And bit of a creepy way of putting it.
And you did, and then he came on as a client.
It worked. It literally worked. And it's like, I guess another way, a cliche way to say is it's a second chance to make a first impression.
Yeah. Because how many times does it take
Don't
to make
brush
a buying
over
decision?
that was a quality line.
I added.
I'm at my best today. Got my favourite jumper on.
Yeah, you've been on fire the last couple of days. I feel like I'm not at my best.
Well, you were very hungover and I wasn't. And also, my friend Jack gave me some recovery pills, which sound very illegal, but they're not. So I took like 2 special vitamins.
What day?
On the last day, before we went out. And then before I went to bed, I took 3 special vitamins. When I woke up in the morning, I felt better than I've ever felt.
What? I want those special vitamins.
They're called Rebound. You can get them. They're not. I promise they're legal.
Okay.
It was a great time. You saw me that day. I was flying.
Yeah.
And that's after you and one of our clients argued deep into the night and kept me awake.
It wouldn't be a trip if you're not arguing about Donald Trump.
Let's all argue about American politics that we can do nothing about.
And then arm wrestle at the end.
Yeah. Anyway, this podcast is unhinged. So, basically, what I'm saying is familiarity drives conversions. And if you're not keeping yourself front of mind with people, you're missing a trick. And I'll give some examples that people might not like, but it's important for you to understand. You know, like the business owners that say, I don't want to email my list every day because it'll annoy them. They're also the business owners that complain that they haven't got enough sales.
Yeah. And but I think on that, like, you feel like that is the case because you're in it all the time. But like, oh, I've sent 3 emails a day. I guarantee, like, how many times do you look at your emails a day? And you just get lost and lost.
And people are beyond getting annoyed by emails now. Like, especially in the B2B space. My emails don't annoy me anymore. If I don't want to read it, I just delete it. And it's like, it's a fleeting moment. But if that subject line captures my attention, I'm in.
Yeah.
And it's the same with like I've recently been trying to buy a desk. A bit boring, but it's true. And I was researching different desks because the logic was, I spend more time in the office than I do anywhere else in the world. Like, I'm in the office a lot, and I've got the smallest desk of all of us, and I sit there like a little hobbit, and I've got no room to move. And I was like, actually, I should just get myself a fucking massive desk. And then I was like, but I don't want like one of these big corporate bloody mahogany things that makes me look like a right knobhead. I just want something minimal but big. So I start doing my Googling, looking around, and then sure enough, some of these desks that I've been looking at start following me around. Now, one company did it really well. Like, I would go onto websites that I like reading, and their advert would pop up, and then I'd see it in the on socials, and I was just like, oh, it's not intrusive. It's just keeping them front of mind, ticking over in my head, and eventually, I've bought a desk from them. It wasn't a small purchase. They've done good money out of it.
Most purchases, you don't make the buying decision straight away. Like, you're not like, yes, I'm having that.
So
and normally it's under a certain price point for you to do that.
Only 2% of visitors convert on their first visit. And the amount of businesses out there that are trying to get people to convert on the first visit and not doing anything after that. No abandoned carts, no remarketing, no, did you forget something? And
it's about, thinking about where your customers are in the funnel. Like, are they right here at the top? Like, are they even problem aware yet?
So, what does that mean?
Do they know?
What's a funnel? Literally, what's a funnel? Because if someone doesn't know what remarketing is, chances are they won't know what a funnel is.
So if you think about it if you literally picture a funnel in your mind, it's like a huge pool at the top, and as you get down, 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 the buying decision is
made at the bottom of the triangle.
Yeah, and people are going to drop out. And so people up here at the top of the funnel, they might not even know, if we take what we do, for example, they might not even know that their problem is marketing. They might think their problem is, I need more money. I want more money for my business.
That will be their problem, right? It'll be, I want to make more money. So they don't know that's a marketing problem or a sales problem or an admin problem, process problem. And so you've got to get them in at the top and nurture them towards realising what their problem is.
And that 2% that you mentioned before of people who are like, I'm ready to sort this now. And even people who are really problem aware, who it's an urgent thing, might not be ready to sort it now.
I would say people that know me, this sounds awful, would say I'm the most problem aware person you'll ever meet. I've diagnosed my issue long before I've gone and found a supplier for it, which isn't always a good thing. It's not a boast. And I still take some convincing.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed a desk because it didn't fit on the desk I'm on. I still shopped around. I still read different things. And my shopping behaviour isn't necessarily, is this the best desk? It's is this the best customer experience? Am I feeling looked after? Is it going to come on time? Which ironically it hasn't.
Is this company big enough to facilitate what I need? If I have a problem, are they going to be able to refund me?
Small enough to care.
Oh, no problem is too big.
But yeah, it's that understanding that most of your prospects aren't going to make a buying decision on their first touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch, fifth touch. You're getting into 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touch points before they make a buying decision. And you're sat there going, well, they've signed up to my lead magnet. I probably shouldn't email them too much because I might annoy them. It's the opposite. If you annoy them and they unsubscribe, they were never going to buy anyway. And you might have a fairly kind of altruistic view of business and want to provide a lot of value to society, which I wholeheartedly endorse. I'm sat here doing a podcast right now. But you also have to be willing for some people to walk away, to step away, and that's part of it.
And also, is it an ego thing? You might, people probably aren't going to know who you are, and so you've got to really convince them that what you do is valuable and you're a trustworthy person. Everybody's so skeptical nowadays, and to assume that I've got 4 emails from Martha that person would even know who I am, to be oh, she's annoyed me. They might not even know.
So I'm getting I'm sending an email every day now, and I would say maybe between 6 and 10 people unsubscribe every day. And I'm saying that's great news. All it means is that the people that are left behind are more likely to be into it. And I'm giving loads and loads of value and offering free marketing calculators and various things. And if you unsubscribe, fair dues, that's fine.
I think a common misconception is exactly that. Marketing is as much as about repelling people as it is to attracting the right people towards you.
Yeah. Getting rid of the ones that were never going to buy.
Yeah.
And
as
also
quickly as possible.
People forget, remarketing doesn't just attract the new bots, it reassures the ones that have already bought. If someone's bought from you and then they see you everywhere, you suddenly seem a lot more established and a lot more legit, and they feel much more comfortable in their decision than if it's like one and done and they never hear from you again.
Because buyer's remorse.
Yeah, buyer's remorse, that kind of like, if there's a lead time on anything, like I've got that with this desk at the moment. It was meant to come in 6 days. We're on day 20 now. But I am still getting served their remarketing.
So you know they haven't gone bust.
Yeah, so they still exist, literally. But like that is buyer psychology, right? Fucking hell, is this desk going to come? Well, they're still serving ads, so they've still got money, so they haven't disappeared. And like little things like that matter.
Especially in this economy where everybody's saying like
skeptical and skint.
It's really hard for business owners, and which it is.
It's always hard.
Yeah.
Like that's my attitude. It's like if it was easy, everyone would do it. So, okay. So what would be like typical examples of remarketing?
The one that springs to mind first for me when you mentioned the trainers following around the internet is Google banners.
Yeah.
Retargeting anybody who's been on your site with an image of.
So it could be like a specific product, could be a service, could just be keeping yourself.
Could just be your face.
And by Google banner, you mean those banners that like you could be on a newspaper website and they're on the side or on the top. They just pop up and follow you around. Yeah?
Exactly that. And typically you'll have like 17 or 18 different sized banners of the thing that you are promoting. And that's why it doesn't matter what site you're on, wherever there's a gap, your ad's going to be there.
And they're always in the base of those YouTube videos as well, aren't they? And like things like that. Yeah, okay. And then I guess like another really obvious one is cart abandonments. Like you should be optimizing your e-commerce site for add to cart. And if you're not then chasing after those people to get them to buy, you're really missing a trick, because people's buyer behavior now, they treat websites like they used to treat high street shops. They like window shop. So like I'll go into a shop and look at loads of different things I like and not buy any of them. But then I'll go back half an hour later and get the 2 things I wanted.
You saw first.
Yeah. And like everyone listening, that'll resonate with a lot of people, right? And that's exactly the same on the internet now. Like my Amazon cart has got 17 items in it right now because I think I want them. Maybe I can't afford them right now, or I haven't felt enough of compulsion exactly to pull the trigger.
But
and I'll tell you, I'll be completely honest. So I've got 2 businesses, this one and an AI business, and I've got a goal in the AI business that I want to hit before I press go on that Amazon cart. So it's in their interest to keep remarketing to me.
Or is it going to be when Black Friday rolls around, you're going to say,
I mean, if these items get Black Friday offers, it's a fucking miracle. They are like the geekiest, most niche things ever. Like no one in their right mind should be buying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 1990 replica models, but this guy is thinking about it. So,
but the emails that you get that are like, do you still want this? This is going out of stock. We've reduced, because I know people who put things in their basket and wait for the email that says 10% off free delivery before they buy.
We both know someone that used to do that on purpose. Really annoying.
But if you don't send those emails, then
you're going to miss that customer.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, exactly. So remarketing isn't just the banners that follow you around. It isn't just the abandoned cart email. It's the offer 48 hours later to say, oh, we saw you didn't pull the trigger. Here's a gift on us, 10% off, 20% off, 50% off a second purchase, like whatever it might be.
Here's what Martha said about her product that she brought.
Yeah. Here's the product in action. Here's what you'll get if you buy today. And then the other thing to think about is you should be remarketing to people who've bought from you before, because that's where all the profit is, in the second purchase, the third purchase, the fourth purchase. And sadly, 99% of all businesses are not doing that. I mean, that's a made-up stat, but just anecdotally, I would say I could get 100 businesses in here now and only one of them would be doing that, because that's my experience when I've talked to people. Like, are you marketing to your existing customers? Well, we send a monthly newsletter. Are you putting your new products in front of them? No. And e-commerce businesses are generally better at it. If it, like Lush are very good. So Lush is a brand that a lot of people will know, like organic bath salts and bath bombs and shit. And every time they launch something new, if you're on their newsletter, you're going to hear about it. You're going to get served ads. Like, they're very, very good at it. Body Shop, who are in the same space, I'm not even sure they exist anymore.
Yeah, I haven't thought about them in a while.
Don't do that.
And it would be so easy for them to remarket people who are interested in Lush. Like they've
Oh,
already got, it's already there.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Body Shop did it first, and then Lush, like, and I've seen Lush doing like clever things now. So like, they've done like a Harry, I think it was a Harry Potter crossover, and so it looked, I don't know what the fucking golden thing's called that they,
Snitch.
yeah,
Snatch.
Snitch from, is it, what's the game called they play? It's
Uh,
definitely not called Snatch, Mark. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's like a replay of Barcelona all over again.
Um,
Quidditch.
yeah, that Quidditch.
Quidditch.
Yeah,
Awesome.
tell we're both massive Harry Potter fans. But yeah, so it was like golden, and then in the middle it wasn't, and like they've opened up to a whole new market, and then they can remarket to those people. And I've seen in America they did a turtles one, and I was actually like, well, I'd quite like a turtles bath bomb, and you could get all 4 turtles, a different bandana on each one. Like I barely ever have baths, and I'm like, oh wow, turtles bath bomb, yeah, I'm in, because everyone always gets you like smellies for Christmas. If someone got me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bath bombs, I'd be like, fucking hell, you've really thought about that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Lynx Africa for the 900th time when I'm actually allergic to it anyway.
I was just thinking then about like influence. That's why influence marketing basically is remarketing to your followers, like making people trust your face and your brand, and then anything you buy, they buy. It doesn't matter if it's
and
something...
they get it, right? Influencers get it. They're like, I'm going to speak to my audience by being me, and that is going to repel a lot of people, but it's going to attract so many people. I saw a quote by Ice Cube yesterday, and he was like, stop chasing your fans because you'll lose your fans.
Yeah, I saw you post that.
And I was like, that's a quality quote in terms of like what he means is like, look after the people that already want a bit of you, already like you, or already into what you're into. And I've like really embraced that more recently. I found a lot of like business owners, small business owners, entrepreneurs are actually mavericks. Like the way they think is different to the standard person on the street kind of thing. And not that the standard person on the street is wrong, they just think differently. And so I've like tapped into that because I know I think differently. And so I was like, well, actually, I'm really geeky, but I'm not the kind of geek that's socially awkward and sits in a cupboard. I'm like the kind of geek that wears it on his sleeve, quite literally. And then I was like, well, if I just embrace that and talk, start talking about AI, start talking about the things that I'm into, how I've managed to make the business more efficient, make my office more geeky, it's actually attracted way more people to me because they've gone like, oh well, we were never quite sure what Joel stood for before because he was kind of a bit different and straight talking, but perhaps not different enough. And then now I'm like, actually, I just wholeheartedly be me. If some people won't like it, that's okay. But the ones that do really do. And like, I had a catch up with a client yesterday who's a pretty different character to me, but he can see the heart in what I'm doing. He can see that like, oh, you actually like really care. Like you're really human about it. I'm like, yeah, like, I want you to win. Why do you want me to win? Well, 1, because I care, and 2, because I'm a geek. And if you don't win, I've failed.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's ace.
We were having a conversation about authenticity, weren't we? About like,
I hate the word authenticity.
I don't get it personally. Like, I just don't like think it's. I don't know. Like, what even does it mean? How do you be inauthentic? I don't.
Well, so the conversation we had, although you were quite drunk,
I don't think I was at this point.
I said you find it really difficult to understand inauthenticity because you're very authentic. Which I think was my exact words.
Yeah.
Because you will literally say the wrong thing because it's the right thing to do. It's a bit of a weird, but like if something's on the tip of your tongue, you're going to say it because that's who you are.
Before my brain's caught
Before
up.
filtering. So you find it really difficult to understand why someone would pretend to be something they're not. And I think like a real good indication of someone who's inauthentic is they bang on about authenticity.
Yeah.
It's like saying like, to be honest before you start a sentence. To be honest, right, you're about to lie to me.
Or like, in my opinion, like obviously it's your opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else is it? You're saying it.
Yeah.
But I do that all the time.
To be honest with you, and I'm like, what do you mean to be honest with me? When were you not being honest with me? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And so like, a lot of these people who are like, I think authenticity in marketing is, of course it's fucking important. If you're lying to people, stop doing it. Like, and like, I'm quite strong, but like, it really grinds my gears. I'm like, the best way to market your business is to tell people how it's going to help them, how it's going to transform their lives. And if what you're telling them isn't true, fucking stop it.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. So I guess like remarketing success stories. Every one of our clients is a remarketing success story. Like remarketing becomes a massive part of what we're doing. We run warm audiences on ads. A warm audience means that we're serving ads to people who've been served something before, be it organic social, been on the website, heard a podcast, downloaded a PDF, whatever it might be. And we've seen, obviously, e-commerce, this makes perfect sense. Something's in your basket, that's now following you around. But service-based businesses really miss a trick with this because they think once they've given someone the information they need, that that's the end of the prospecting process. And it's not, that's the start.
Yeah. Or they've given, maybe they've already given the service, a service. We had this with a wild email campaign that we ran, where the company had now just branched out into doing also
garages.
Yeah,
so they, I mean, you won't mind getting a shout out. I'm sure he listens to the podcast, but they do loft boarding as their main thing and loft ladders. Very, very fucking good at it. Lofty Solutions, if anyone's looking for some loft boarding in the northeast.
In the Durham area.
There's a plug for you. They're also amazing at garage conversions because it's a similar skill set. And so we sent out an email campaign to everyone on their list and they got a considerable amount of garage conversion jobs booked in. And it was as simple as retargeting the same people with a new service.
With, by the way, we're still here, and if you're interested in this, we do this. As simple as that. It wasn't even a hard sell. It was actually the opposite of a hard sell. It was, you've got your lifetime warranty, and by the way, if you want a garage.
Oh yeah,
let me know if you're interested.
It was like, and also we do this, not a sign up tomorrow because there's only 2 garages left. It wasn't like hardcore, like there was no like false urgency. It was very much like, you gave us a 5-star review on your loft boarding. By the way, we also do this. And the till started ringing. And like, we've got multiple examples of that. And it's, I guess, like to present the opposite argument, you've got to be careful of ad fatigue. If the frequency of your ad, like, so frequency is measured by how many times people see your ad. So a frequency of 10 would mean the same person seeing it 10 times. If the frequency's gone over 20, you might be peppering people a little bit too hard. And then you get fatigue and people, it becomes that whole, to be honest with you, or in my opinion thing, that whole like, these people are like trying so hard that now I'm beginning to not trust them.
Yeah, I agree. But I would say that if it's still working, like your campaign's still working, frequency is almost like the last thing that I would look at.
Yeah, it hasn't bothered McDonald's.
No.
Like, they still sponsor the World Cup and millions of people see the same thing over and over and over and over again. So it depends where your business is. If you're like a one-person solicitor firm and you're peppering people over and over and over and over again, you could erode trust. If you're a massive multinational conglomerate like McDonald's, it's actually brand awareness, and that's different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like people like how many times do you like see an ad for a company and you're like, oh, no, I've just got to do this, or I actually want that, but let me just open the door, or yes, okay, I've just got a phone call, and like
literally the like doorbell, the kettle's boiled,
kids
the
are
dog's
hungry.
barking. Yeah, so many reasons why someone might not make the decision and then forget the decision they were going to make. I'm a shit for that. There's so much going on in my head that, you know, literally, like, you wake up in the morning, you'll think of something that you need to look at on your phone, and by the time you've had breakfast and made a cup of tea, you've forgotten what it was, but it's really annoying.
Yeah, like feels like you're in Sims and like your action has just been
got a
cancelled.
glitch. Yeah. I've just fucking had a human glitch, and then I start beating myself up about the thing, and by the time I've like done beating myself up, it's gone. That's the people you want to remarket to.
That's a great way. I mean, I need coffee right now. Like, we're running out of coffee. I'm going to be miserable
We're
if
not
we
running-
don't have coffee.
Oh, you
Not
mean
in the office.
You're human.
In
As
my,
a human, you're running
in
out
my
of coffee.
house. And I just can't find the one. Like, when I go to do it, I can't find the one I want.
What coffee machine have you got?
Is it a Dolce Gusto one?
Yeah, like the one we used to have here.
Yeah. But I want the silver ones specifically. But I don't know where to find them.
Surely online.
It's so hard to find them. But I would buy them right now if someone served me an ad. Or maybe something similar. Because I can't be bothered anymore.
Manifest it.
This is what I'm doing. And put it out to the people.
Come on, world.
If anybody listening to this podcast sells silver,
Get a bean to
Gusto-
cup and get some Alfie's coffee.
Oh, I ain't got time for that.
Plug in someone who already gets plugged on this, but nice. What do you mean you haven't got time for it? Bean to cup's just as quick.
Bean to cup. I watched a YouTube video of a guy talking about it when I had this idea that I would get up and like steam milk every morning.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Just have a bean to cup Americano and put a drop of milk in it.
Yeah.
That's what I have. But my house came with the coffee machine already integrated, which is fucking mental.
Yeah, maybe.
Who
Maybe
the
if I
he-
get
like
served
honestly,
now.
like
Bean to cup.
we had to pay more for our house because of the value of the coffee machine. That is bananas, isn't it?
Surely you're just like, I don't want it, so no.
They gave us the choice, but I didn't want a hole in the cabinet.
Oh, yep, no. Can you do that? Like, I think if it's integrated, you have to leave it, don't you?
No, they could take it out because there would still be cupboard space, but there was a door.
No, yeah, and then you'd have to match.
Yeah, and it was an old kitchen. But I've now got a barista level bean to cup coffee machine. So it's nice, and literally do have Alfie's coffee in it, so another plug. So what kind of things can people do right now to start their remarketing?
That if you've got a database, like get something like out to your everybody who's in it, or like if you don't have a database but you're like an ecom, like sort that out.
What do you notice early doors when clients come on board with us about their websites?
They're not functional.
They don't have what?
A pixel,
Or,
a Google tag.
yeah, get them on straight away. Start building up that data of people to retarget.
Even if you're not planning on like launching your
Even
ads.
if you don't know how to use it, it'll pay you well in the future when your business grows, I promise.
And there's a few ways to do it, but the simplest way is literally you copy a little bit. Most websites will be like, put your pixel here. Just
Yeah,
type
or
in
put
to put my pixel
your-
on my WordPress. How
Put
to
your
put my
Google
pixel on.
tag code here. Yeah, literally. Then you can start building website audiences. You won't know, but like LinkedIn, Facebook, X, TikTok are already building those audiences for you. So when you come to use their ad platforms, it's already there. The last 30 days of Instagram viewers, whatever it might be. And I'd just say keep it simple. Like remarketing's not. I mean, if you're looking to work with a marketing agency, remarketing is really complicated.
And you'll never have time to do it.
Yeah, but it's actually not that complicated.
No.
It,
And they're your warmest leads.
yeah, and it's a really useful tool.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Goodbye, everyone.